Big L X Squad. Big L X Squad says, JY3, tell them the truth, sir. Maste P changed the game, music, movies, clothes, toys. He did everything. And you're exactly right. And it really is very interesting to see how people always try to diss Maste P and MC Hammer and Will Smith, cats that have done big things in the industry, man, for whatever reason, for whatever their particular reasons are. And Maste P, my gosh. No Limit hit like a freaking hurricane in the mid-90s. No Limit Records? There's some ninjas from New Orleans rapping, and they doing it major? They worldwide? Shit. You can't even understand what they're saying. How are they doing this? Right, we were introduced to a whole new group of slang words like woody and everything that those cats said down there, man. Maste P did a real big fan of Maste P. LD from the D, so he got his pension. He cool. He ain't tripping off you, Doug. Maybe he's talking about one of these guys, as I call Bust. Probably Rick Meyer, who I said played in the NFL for 8 years. That's fine. I'm happy that the man got a couple of dollars. I'm happy for the man. That doesn't mean he doesn't make my list. I'm sorry. Rick Meyer sucked, man. From KC, quarterbacks drafted in 1993, Drew Bledsoe, Rick Meyer, Billy Joe Hebert, Mark Brunell, Gino Torretta, Alex Van Pelt, Elvis Gerbeck, and Trent Green. Shit, they were horrible. Wow. You know what? Let me back that up a little bit. I forgot about Mark Brunell. Mark Brunell had a solid career in Jacksonville for many years. The first quarterback in Jacksonville Jaguars history. Drew Bledsoe obviously had a very good career. We actually interviewed Drew Bledsoe on this show. One of the first early episodes, one of the first few months of the Doug Stewart show, we interviewed Drew Bledsoe on the show. So Drew Bledsoe, Mark Brunell was solid as hell. But Rick Meyer, Billy Joe Hebert, was it Hebert or Hobart? I can't even remember how his name was pronounced. Gino Torretta, who's the Miami quarterback who had a solid college career. I think he was the quarterback of one of the Miami championship teams. Alex Van Pelt, who was horrible. Elvis Gerbeck, horrible. Trent Green, okay. And some of these guys played a long time. They held clipboards for a long time. But outside of Bledsoe and Brunell, they pretty much sucked. Griff says Chi-Town, Crucial Conflict, or Do or Die. I guess what he's saying is, who put Chicago on the map for hip-hop? Crucial Conflict came before Do or Die, right? I think so. Or they have that track, Smoking on Hay. Was that Crucial Conflict? I believe so. From Clay True to the Game Davis. Who the hell gave Eddie Carey the Baby Shaq label? That's right. Right. Rough Buff says Baby Jordan was athletic but never developed his game. Talking about Harold Miner. And I guess that's the reference where Eddie Curry. Cats were talking about dudes that nicknames represented a previous player that already had done big things in the NBA. And so Eddie Curry, straight out of high school, drafted by the New York Knicks, they call him Baby Shaq. Nah, that's not a good comparison. I was thinking about it. That's not a good comparison because when Shaq was in LSU, Shaq ran the floor like a guard or at worst a small forward. At 200 and how many ever pounds he was big. And Shaq back then ain't like Shaq now. Shaq now look like, your uncle. He does. Shaq even walk like he hurting right now. I think that he has had some physical problems over the last couple of years since he's retired from the NBA. But I actually went to a toy giveaway that Shaq had on the east side of town over there in was it Decatur? Anyway, on the east side of the city, Shaq had this toy giveaway like 2 years ago. And, man, Shaq is really walking around, moving very gingerly. Like something hurting him, like his knee still hurting him or something like that, man. He's put on a lot of weight. He got this pot belly or whatever, man. And Shaq was a hellified athlete when he came out of college. Like, I don't think there's a big man that ever ran the floor like Shaq. Like, that big. There's been tall guys that can run the floor, but to run the floor like Shaq did when he came out of LSU, it was an anomaly. And, yeah, that's a good one, man. Yeah, Eddie Curry ain't no baby Shaq. From Miss Mocha Bella, Big L, my friend who I went to high school with danced for Uncle Luke. She now lives in the ATL. Oh, I see, Mocha. You trying to say that you danced for Uncle Luke before, but you blaming it on your friend? Hey, Mocha, listen. Mocha doing a classic read between the lines. Okay, Mocha. I'm winking my eye right now. Okay, Mocha, your friend danced with Luke back in the day. It wasn't you. It was your friend. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Mocha. Hold your head up. Hold your head up. You're just trying to play for college. From Clay, true to the game, Davis, Doug, the Warriors are not losing any series this postseason. You're probably right. From KC, so is Kerr really that great of a coach? The Warriors played well with or without him on the bench? It's a true point. It's a good point. And a lot of people argue, myself included, that they probably would have still won a championship, the year that they fired Mark Jackson and they brought in Steve Kerr. It's basically the same equivalent to what happened in Tampa Bay with Tony Dungy and John Gruden. I really, truly believe that if Dungy had that job, he would have won the championship that year. He'd have won the Super Bowl that year just like Gruden did. Same thing with Mark Jackson. What? They were progressing. He put together that team. He's the guy that pulled the trigger on those picks for those guys. Steve Kerr waltzed in, not saying he isn't a good coach. Not saying he isn't a great coach. Steve Kerr waltzed in at the right time, period. And they won a championship. So we'll see. If Mike Brown and the Golden State Warriors continue to win games, and I don't see why they won't continue to win games, like he's not going to do anything to change. He's not going to change what's already been in motion by the Golden State Warriors, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. He'd be a fool to come in there and try to change anything. They got the players. They got two of the best 3-4 players in the game. And you can make an argument 3 of the best 5. If you throw in Klay Thompson, Durant, Steph Curry, 3 of the best, right? 3 of the best 5. You talk about those 3 guys right there alone, they should win the championship, man. From Cornelius Small, Doug, maybe it's Mike Brown and not the actual players. It might be, but I doubt it. From Big L X Squad, what, Mocha? She was popping that P on the stage with Luke. How many Luke concerts did you go to, Mocha? Big L X Squad, read between the lines. Mocha was popping that P. It was actually Mocha. From T-Dub, San Antonio will have some tired legs when they have to see Houston in the semis. I think Houston will push them to 7 and possibly win that series. From Clay True to the game, Davis Gilliard, the Blazers didn't want to take the flight to Oakland to lose there. Yeah, you knew what was going to happen in this series. From Ducking and Dodging, every rapper doesn't need to be top 10 worthy lyrically. Just make good music. From Sidney Jackson, a lot of that hate from back in the day came from them New York cats. Oh, yeah, if it wasn't from New York, then it wasn't right. From that Ninja in the chat room on Spreaker.com, what up, Ninja, who also hosts a show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, the Underground Railroad Show. Ninja says they gave Gino Torretta the Heisman over Marshall Faulk and Garrison Hurst. That should lift him up pretty high on the list. Gino Torretta. But Gino Torretta, I don't think Gino Torretta was drafted that high. I can tell you right now, I guess I've kind of alluded to it. I don't think I don't have Gino Torretta on my list of top 5 bust of all times. Let me see what Gino Torretta was drafted at. Yeah, see, he doesn't qualify as a bust because he wasn't drafted until the 7th round. He had a great college career, but when you get drafted in the 7th round, nobody really expects a lot from you. From Rough Buff, a young Shaq was quick on his feet. Oh, my gosh. A young Shaq was very quick on his feet. From Al Thompson's Mocha, you know Gino wasn't ish. He was barely already in college. In NFL, he was doo-doo. That's where this is coming from. Mocha Bella, one of the Stewarts, is in Miami, Florida. So she supports all Miami teams and whatnot. Big L X Squad, that damn Ninja don't watch playoff basketball, WTF. Sorry for you, Ninja. From Clay, true to the game, David Shaq is 7'1" and 300 pounds. That takes a toll on your knees. I would imagine. Even if you have your own sneaker, that still takes a toll on your knees. From Get Y'all Roads Finest, Clay, if it wasn't for the playoffs, I would have been watching something else, laugh out loud. From Big L X Squad in the chat room on Spreaker.com, Lisa Ray is the Brat's real sister. Yeah, we talked about that. It was the Brat's birthday a couple of weeks ago, and we mentioned that how her and Lisa Ray are brothers or sisters. And I don't know if they have both of the same parents, but it doesn't matter if they got the same mama, then they're sisters. Period. Point blank. Why did the Brat's name come up? Oh, we're talking about the rappers that put their city on the map. The Brat being from Chicago, but the same thing kind of with Ludacris. When I think of the Brat and I think of Ludacris, even though they're from Chicago, I kind of think of them as far as Atlanta hip-hop. Like, I don't think about them for Chicago hip-hop. When I think of Chicago hip-hop, I think of Do or Die, Crucial Conflict, or even that young boy that's crazy. What's his name? Somebody will tell me in the chat room who has all of this murder-type music or whatever, which he actually probably got that from Maste P. But I can't remember the kid's name from Chicago. Somebody in the chat room would tell me. But either him. But if I go back to the beginning, probably Crucial Conflict. I think Do or Die had a better run. Better lyricist. But, yeah, I think of either one of those two. From Lamont Hart, Doug, you have to start giving Draymond that third spot or Golden State has a big 4 because Draymond is the key to that team. That's true. I do probably need to give Draymond Green a little bit more credit. But I guess I'm talking about the shooters, but you're right. You're exactly right. Draymond Green is a huge part of their success there in Golden State. When we get back from the break, a little entertainment talk. We'll go over and continue to give you names from my list of top 5 NFL draft busts in honor of the draft this Thursday night. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show.
the flow, you ain't even on my level though. Mr. Do it till the cows come home. It's me, Daniel Street, Mr. Bitches on the beat, and Mr. Ward's on the right, cause he's my right hand man. Get on my level, I don't think that you can. You good with your nose, just like Toucan Sam. We bake rappers just like Christmas ham. They go for anybody trying to test my fam. This all savvy, hate me, get at me. I get it from my mammy, plus the game from my mammy. Used to bake the bread in the hood, now I shake it, baby. Shaking hood for the dough that I'm old. I'm raised in GA and I'm all about the dough. They'll make it rain dough when the kids for my clothes. I mean clothes for my kids. A comfortable grill and a man SUV with 5 booster seats. Walk the plank, you are now shark food. Yeah, I'm stingy with the loot, cause I'm saving it for food. I'm boom.